Dun 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 dun. It's like being at the carnival. I'm going through some of my comments that people are making on videos, and I just now ran up on a comment that was posted 3 months ago, which is perfectly fine in a retrograde review. This is right up my alley. This video is dedicated to Janus, my sub. Janus replied, "This video is words within words." Words within words. Posted on March the 30th, 2018. And this is Janus's comment. Pineal, P-I-E-K-N-E-E-L gland should be Phyros gland, really. And funny how we are entering the age of Aquarius, air with no wings. How's that ever gonna fly? It flies because the feathers are in our head. We're airheads. You got to be an airhead here. For the wings to be on the back, that's Libra. The wings on the feet is Gemini. But it's the pineal gland and Janus, right? Janus is the two-faced god. I replied, "I love it when people say things that make me think. My next video is dedicated to Janus, my sub, the two-faced god." Janus looks at the past and the future. We get January from Janus, looking at the previous year and the year to come. He's kind of what we would call the New Year's god. Of course, that fell out of the winter. It used to be in line with the winter solstice when it was first initiated, but that's no longer true. Now we have Sagittarius on the mutable cross in the 4 directions, and solstices and equinox are all marked by the mutable cross. But it's the pineal gland and the Phyros gland. To me, it should be the pineal gland. Let's do that. Hold on. Let me get up paint. It's the final gland. It's the pineal gland. It's the final gland. They would do PHI, right? You have the pi and the phi. But really, that don't exist. It's a 6 or an F. So, it's FI. Phi is pi, and that's 69 is pi, or phi. And pi is 169, 16 and 9. But it's the it's the pineal, or the final gland. And it is the last one. It is the crown chakra. And you get your crown. The headdress of the Native Americans is in feathers. So that's Aquarius, the crown chakra, the crown air sign. Gemini's air is on the feet. Libra's air is in the middle, the torso, right? The wings on the back. But the air is fixed in heaven, which is the head, right? Earth is your feet, and heaven is your head. So you get your crown chakra, you get your chief headdress that flows to the ground, which represents your aura, or your light body. But interesting comment there. Also, lose my mouth at times. While I'm going through reviewing comments posted on previous videos, I also am going through a time to meet and greet video. This is the time to meet and greet video, and I daily I get people commenting on this video. So, and there are 721 comments. So we're going to go through a few of these because I get them daily. What I'll do is sort them by the newest first. That way the last people that have come on board will know who they're looking to connect. So here we go. Hello from Belgium. Dee Dee's looking for somebody. Darren Green is in Daysland, Alberta, land of the other Stonehenge. I'd be interested to see a video on that. Jules 454 is in Worcestershire, Massachusetts. Port Cali is in Lisboa, Portugal. Hello to Portugal. Stephanie is in southwest Missouri. Dinko is in Croatia. Danielle is in Newark, Delaware. Antonio is in Jacksonville, Florida. Victoria Lawson is in Los Angeles. I have several there. Y'all need to come back on here and hook up with each other. Provo, Utah, Lioness of Gaia. Larry Kinnikin from Castlegar, British Columbia. Orlando, Florida. Mansfield, Texas. Tucson, Arizona. Mount Juliet and Kirsten, Tennessee. Toronto. East Troy, Wisconsin. Maryland. Baltimore there. Buckingham, Quebec. Wellington, New Zealand. A lot going on there. Love to hear that everybody there's okay. Janine Dixon, please drop me a line. Would like to have a personal inside view of what all's going on. I know it's in Christchurch and you're in Wellington, but surely y'all's news is more than what we get here. Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Aaron Johnson. Heron Speaks in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I like Gatlinburg is one of my favorite places. Gateway to the Smoky Mountains. Columbia, Missouri. Reno, Nevada. Wizard Wells, Texas. Land of Enchantment. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Phoenix, Arizona. There's two from Phoenix. Panama City. Oldham County, Kentucky. Pensacola. That's stomping ground for me. I was raised on the Gulf Coast. Spiritual Casino is in Tampa, Florida. Granville, Ohio. I am. Profi Crawley is in Germany. Northwest Germany. Yeah, I have several in Germany. Y'all need to come on board over here and come hook up. New World Disorder, Melbourne, Australia. Franklin, Kansas. Randy Trevor. Rosie Finn, Amsterdam. I've got a lot in the Netherlands. Miami, Florida. Columbia Gorge, Central Oregon. Wales, United Kingdom. Petaluma, North California. Eureka Springs. There are several Eureka Springs. Which one? Because I know of one in Arkansas, and I do believe there's one in California as well. Buckinghamshire, UK. Summer Warwick, Rhode Island. And winter in Costa Rica. Ooh, how extravagant. I would love to winter in Costa Rica. I would be off in the jungles digging up stuff. New South Wales, Australia, from Judith. Got several there. Y'all need to hook up with Judith. Etheric Essentials. Deborah Tucker is in Ozark, Arkansas. That's adjacent to where I was in Oklahoma. The Comanche Mountains are what I call the foothills of the Ozarks. Another in Worcestershire. Mesa, Arizona. Edmonton, Old Australia. San Diego. I used to live in San Diego, La Jolla back in the 80s. Charlotte, North Carolina. Newcastle, England. Oslo, Norway. Cincinnati, Ohio. Darren, Connecticut. Born in the Slovak Republic. Welcome over, Iveta. Garmon, DF Catulas, D.F. Catullus, Spokane, Washington, Dublin, Ireland, living in Cavan, Ballio, did I say that right? Me and my southern accent, I can imagine how that comes off to some of you. Shelburne, Nova Scotia, Canada. Oops, it jumped on me. More from Chattanooga here. Concord, New Hampshire. Valley of the Sun. San Jose, California. Deep South, Oxford, Mississippi. I was born in Indianola, Mississippi, in the Delta. Shenandoah, Virginia. Just some beautiful places. South London, England. Cowtown, and Fort Worth, Texas. I've lived in Grand Prairie for about a year. There, Fort Worth, Dallas, Metroplex. Of course, Mach 1234 Golf, one of my favorite channels. She is in Ireland. All my Irish people need to hook up with her. She is awesome. She's got a couple channels. Great somebody to have on your side. Port St. Lucia, Florida. Christine, Lakewood, Colorado. Lackawaxen, Pennsylvania. Missoula, Montana. It just goes on and on and on. Y'all need to come on here and check this out. Southeast Alabama. Spitting distance from Columbus, Georgia. Norwich, England. Goodrich, Michigan. There's another from Baltimore, Maryland. Aurora, Colorado. It's just, everybody needs to come and hook up with those in your area. A lot of you are in the same places, but I see you're not connecting with each other. Many of you are. London, getting a lot of connections. Y'all need to hook up, swap emails, become email pals, and that way, if everything does go into a disconnect, you'll have that one email, that one number, that one soul, and it'll come to your memory, and we can build our own network, our own collective. That way we can manifest happiness and kindness and love, at least in small pockets around the world. But the more we bond together, where two or more are gathered, there am I in the midst. All right, I think that's all I wanted to share was the words within words and how it is the pineal gland, and it's natural, the pi being, and another thing about that I became instantly aware of because of duality is that, because I always wondered, because phi, the 1.618 natural golden ratio, is natural. It's the way nature works. But then we have pi, which is how we build things, man-made, and it's built on 3.14159. And I consider both of them being infinite numbers. This is the natural matrix, and this is the this is how they squared the circle. Pi squares the circle of phi. And then, because of Janus, let's put Janus up here, my two-faced God teaching me how to look, how to see, 20/20 hindsight vision, Janus, the squaring of the circle, it's duality. If the circle existed, the square had to come into existence. One can't exist without the other. It's the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, pi and phi. And it's a, Janus was right. They're giving us the pi kneel. They want us to kneel the pi gland when it's the phi kneel gland. It's natural. In alchemy, the lightning bolt is a sign of artificial initiation, man-made, pi. So I have to question myself, is the wave sign the natural initiation? When they show us Aquarius, we get it from the Greco-Roman, and it's what all sigils are made in, what I call block letters, right? You have the curved fire languages, and then everything we have in Western tradition comes from the Greek blocked letters. So do our symbols. So when we get the symbol of Aquarius, we get this symbol, and the bottom matches the top. But that's Greco-Romanized. That's pi. But they squared the circle, and it should be the wave. This is why we see the waves. But it's not water, right? They're both currents. Water flows in a current. That's why we have currency. Everything in water world in Pisces, the Pisces, is about water world. But in Aquarius, it's about air power. It's etheric and electric. It's electric. And it's air waves. You have water waves and air waves. Water currents, air currents, and electrical currents. And that's how energy is transferred. It's all about energy. And in Pisces, it's been water world. We're moving to air power, pneumatic power. They squared the circle in so many ways. There's a form of sidereal astrology that uses the square instead of the circle. And they're having a problem with the 13th sign because it don't fit in the square. A lot of you, again, are asking me about the 13th sign. I'm gaining about 20 to 30 subs a day. I've done these videos. Please go look back. The squaring of the circle is the emasculating of the feminine. Please understand that. That's simply what's going on today. It's their final blow to square the circle. They take all things feminine and try to make it masculine and reverse. Everything is upside down, backwards, and twisted as we move between ages. I'll do that quickly again to show you. We're moving from Pisces, which is water. It's a triangle and it's white and it points downward. This one is red. Aquarius is red and it looks like that. Pisces looks like that. When you put them together, you have the Mogan David, the Star of David. It should be the other way because the water comes first and then it's air over water. But you have another line in this one. You have another line and you can put that line anywhere. So they put it on a necklace when it should go right there. Because air has a line. Air and earth ruled by Saturn, Venus, and Mercury. There's an earth sign. There's water. Both of these are feminine. This is fire, and this is air. Air and earth have the extra line that fire and water do not. We have been in a constant battle of fire and ice, when the truth is, these two joined forces to try to overthrow the... I'll show you exactly what's going on in symbology. These two joined forces. This is what we know as the Mogan David. These two, which are water and fire, or fire and ice, joined forces as the Mogan David. That's what this symbol means. These two ages, the two religions, the two governments, they combined and share everything, religion, all of it. It's called Zionism. It's a blend of the Christianity of Pisces and the god of Aries, fire. And their battle is against the earth and air symbols. So in this one, it's almost like taking out the center, right? This one would add the center. It has 2 extra lines. Now, the bottom row of earth and air is ruled by Saturn, Venus, and Mercury. But, which is the sum of all things. The U is the V from the Greek. I meant the Roman, right? The Latin. It's the sum of all things. And this one here is ruled by Jupiter, Mars, the moon, and the sun. Jupiter and Mars both rule fire and water. The moon rules water and the sun rules fire. But Saturn rules Aquarius. And those of you who have been programmed by tropical astrology, Uranus rules no constellation. Its alchemy is too slow. Pluto and Uranus, if you live to be old, you might get a Uranus return in your life. You got to be really old to get a Pluto return. So that alchemy don't even make sense. They are generational markers, and they are part of the mind. Everything above Saturn is the mind, and that Uranus is the conscious mind, Neptune is the imagination, and Pluto is the subconscious mind. Saturn, that outer 7th planet, being the crown chakra, and it works inward. So everything above the crown chakra is the mind of man. Its conscious mind, its subconscious mind, and its imagination. So Saturn rules Aquarius, and in Aquarius is about astrology and alchemy and the law of equivalent exchange. You reap what you sow. Pisces is an age of grace. You can lie, steal, cheat, whatever. Everything is forgiven but the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. Every other sin is forgiven. You are forgiven by what measure you forgive others. If you can't forgive, you can't be forgiven. But when we enter Aquarius, that is the age of those red words where you reap what you sow. It's going to be by merit. There's going to be no more privilege or discrimination of any group group identity. It's going to be about individualism. It doesn't matter what family you come from, what gender you are, what color you are, what age you are. It's what your worth is. And everybody will have a purpose. We will all receive the same thing. It will be done on merit, not privilege, not nepotism, not affirmative action where we're trying to give those who have less. Everybody's needs will be met. Nobody will be without. Your needs will be met. But as far as status, you're not just going to be given a high school diploma. You're actually going to have to earn it. There's going to be no privileges. Nobody's going to get a free ride. But everybody's needs will be met. We'll be a collective. Aquarius and Capricorn, both ruled by Saturn, are about a collective. Aquarius is the Messiah. He says, "No man takes my life, I lay it down." It's where the one gives his life for the whosoever, the all. And Capricorn, also ruled by Saturn, is about government, agriculture, military, civil service jobs. This is where the one serves the many, because everybody has a purpose. And that's the problem with many of us today. We, one, don't know our purpose, or two, we've been placed in the wrong purpose as a job, and therefore we're unhappy. If we were living our lives according to our purpose, then everybody would be happy with their job because they would be doing what fulfills them inside. But we don't. They want to carbon copy us out and make us all the same. Aquarius is about the uniqueness of the individual. and how it can easily is part of the collective and functions, that we're all unique, but just like in a machine, the screw is as important as the nut bolt that holds the screw in place. Without one, the other, it's going to fall apart. And that everybody has a purpose in this cog of life, this machine we call life. And when you give somebody their purpose and they're allowed to fulfill it, they're happy people. And everybody's purpose is different and unique to them, which in turn will, judging others will cease. Trying to impose your opinion on others and your lifestyle, it will not be tolerated, because each of us have our own purpose and our own lifestyle. It's even like dogs. We have dogs that are bred to be pets, and they're lap dogs. And then we have this working class animal that pulls sleds, and then we have the sporting animal where they go get the duck when you shoot it out of the air. And people are no different. Our DNA is not the same. And every culture had a purpose. Within the wheel of the zodiac, when we talk about the the tribes. Okay, when we talk about the 12 tribes, you're talking about the 12 houses of the zodiac. And when it's a Jew, that means the tribe of Judah. And the tribe of Judah's sigil is the lion. So literally, and when you're looking at astrology and you say you're a Jew, that means you're of the you are of the tribe or of the house of Leo. And your ruling planet is the sun. And this is the knowledge and the life that you possess. It doesn't, and that's not what we're doing. In some of the South American traditions, there were only so many names for children. There were 13 names for children, because you got named after whatever constellation you were born under. That was your name. And again, to me, the 13th constellation is the one the Earth is situated in, and we can't see it because we are in the middle of it. We need a mirror to look at it, and that mirror is the heavens. We look up. I got to ask another question yesterday. Why, if I look and the moon is in Leo, they say it's in Virgo or somewhere else? Because they're using tropical astrology. Tropical astrology says that the Earth is tilted by 23.5 degrees away from true north and magnetic north. So they imaginary pull those two poles together and then superimpose where the stars would be if the Earth were tilted straight up and down. And that's their apologetics as to why they do it. So literally, they're giving you an astrology that could only work before the flood, when the Earth tilted off its axis. And how that makes sense and relevance today is beyond me, because even in ancient astrology, after the flood, when you look through a telescope, you're going to see the same thing Stellarium showing you. You walk outside right now, and the moon will be right here in Leo, where I'm showing you. But tropical astrology is going to move it and put you on a different cross. And that's why I tell you you're double crossed. There are 3 crosses at Golgotha. There are 3 crosses in the heavens. We've all been crucified and are on one of those crosses. But when you carry tropical astrology, you're carrying 2 crosses now. The one you're born with and the one they're giving you. Then you have double trouble. It's double spearmint gum. Everything's about twins and doubles, doubles, doubles. Double up. Double down. And they're giving you, they would love, what happened is the age of Aries on the cardinal cross, fire, the battle of fire and ice, bonded with the age of Pisces and water and ice. They're the Mogan David. They are one. And they rule all religions. This beast down here is religion. They crown the kings. They make the governments. And the kings uses armies and monies to control the people. And this is what we've going on. This, and so it is the cardinal cross and the mutable cross. And they've tied themselves together because the fixed cross comes and they're done. All of that power, all of that work, all of the lies, all of the illusion, the delusion, the religion, the governments, they're done. This will be the age of knowing. Y'all are going to freak on this, but it's going to be a type of full-blown sun worship. I don't want to use that word, but that's the word we have. What we're going to understand is that the sun is a portal. It's a living entity, but it's a portal, and we can use that portal. They call it the sun gate. In Leo, it's the lion's gate. Every house is a gate, and we will be accessing the sun portal. Right now, we've been under moon magic spell in the age of water. They venerate Cancer, the moon, with the little wafer, the little moon cracker. If anything's flat, it's the moon. Talk about flat earth, how about flat moon? It's at least a conical shape, but it's definitely not round, or it would spin. It can't spin. It's magnetically locked because it's heavy on one side. We can watch everything else turn and spin. All right, so each house of the zodiac represents a tribe. It also represents one of the apostles, as this would be like the tribe of David, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the Jews, the Judah, or the king line. It's because opposite Leo is Aquarius, and in Arabic, he's the king. So this is why it's the king line, and it's sun worshippers. But that's with religion. This is going to be about sun knowledge, not sun worship. We're going to have the complete knowledge of the heavens because we're moving into fixed air, or the fixed heavens. And the fixed heavens dictate the earth spins because it is the heavens that are fixed. The planets move. The stars are fixed. We'll get a fixed zodiac, a more perfect language. But to say you are Judah is to say, I'm a Leo. And that's just how it is. As far as the apostle goes, this is the apostle John. He's John the Beloved. Regulus is the nail in the foot of the Messiah. 3 people showed up at the crucifixion. Mother Mary, represented by Cancer, water, cardinal water, the divine feminine, Mother Mary. And then the mutable Mary, the other Mary, the one with the alabaster box, who washes his feet with her tears and dries it with her hair. And that makes this John the Beloved, the only apostle that had the courage of a lion and the lineage of Judah to show up at the crucifixion. But this age is the age of monarchy. It's a king line. He's the king. It's not going to be about democracy, republic, communism, theocracy. All things will be under him. This is really the story of King Arthur. And almost Camelot, but a twist. The Knights of the Round Table. So nobody's at the head of the table. But it's individualism, and it's really about spiritual things. It's a very spiritual age, as the word pneumatic relates to spirit, breath, air power, that all Holy Spirit. All of these come from that word pneumatic out of the Greek. So we've been in a time of illusion, delusion, perversion of symbols. Remember, all things are created by the word. The word is logo. The logo is the symbol. All things were created by the symbol. Well, not anything created without the symbol. And the symbol became flesh and dwelt within men, not among them. It's your third eye. The symbol is the eye, the oldest known symbol. They give you the left eye. That eye is Iron. It's the Oculus Boreas. It's the evil eye of Orion. Actually Taurus, not Orion, but it's part of, because it's the Ayin Soph, and that is the god of the Kabbalists, is the Ayin Soph. And it's these two stars and everything in between them. This is what they would have called their constellation in their age, the Ayin Soph. Pythagoras has to do totally with Aries. You have the I love that Moth Allah, which is where you get Allah in from the Arabic triangle. So Moth Allah, Allah being part of the triangle. And the second companionable, so all of geometry had to do with this. And Medusa had to do with this. Medusa is what turns the Kraken down here to stone. This is the church. So Medusa turns the church to stone. And literally, that is, they did it with buildings. The church used to be the people. Now it's the building. It's no longer the people. It's the place. Alright, I think this got way off course from where I wanted to start all of this with Janus and the pineal gland and the thyroid gland. You know, it would be cool to see a high-rise building instead of a high-rise building. What would that look like? We can expect something like that in the age of Aquarius. It's the age of knowing, so technology is really going to go off the charts. We've not seen anything yet. But the deal is, you want to stay all natural. You want to be as close to nature as you possibly can. And I know, again, this upsets a lot of you, but nature has a code, and it's called survival of the fittest. And dog eat dog. Everything eats something else. It doesn't judge you whether you eat the animal or the vegetable or simply the dirt. It doesn't recognize any of that, because to it it's all the same thing. It's all dirt. It's just earth, water, air, and fire mixed in a different way. The spirit that indwells them, there's only one spirit. There's only one force. There's only one source. It becomes dual when we only recognize one aspect of it. But nature is cruel, and we are to subdue nature. And as we move through the zodiac subduing nature, we subdue different aspects of it. We've been through cardinal fire, we mastered it. And those fire rituals are off the charts, ruling the world today. Mutable water. But we're coming to fixed air. And the fixed in the Nag Hammadi, it's my favorite, because they refer to the fixed cross as the immovable, unshakable race of humanity. The one everybody's been waiting on. Go read that. That's in the Gospel of John. I call it the first revelation of John. To me, the book of Revelations is part 2 to what is actually presented in the Nag Hammadi. You'll never understand part 2 in the Bible if you don't understand part 1 in the Nag Hammadi. John the Beloved, that lion, the heart of the lion, the courage of the lion. And he was the only one that had any courage. The rest of them denied him and hightailed it out of there. And that's the story. So, to be a Jew, it simply means you're a frickin' Leo. Nothing more. It's not what family you were born into. It's what stars you were born under. I'm a Capricorn, so in this age, I'm the devil, right? They've demonized Capricorn and Aquarius. But that's Jupiter speaking from Pisces in his delusions of grandeur and empire. Jupiter means expansion. This whole age has been about empire. This is almost the Empire Strikes Back. Capricorn is the story of when Anakin Skywalker walks into the Jedi Temple and kills the younglings. These are the lucky ones of the slaughterer, the ones that got away. And this is Star Wars. We're told all about every constellation and the wars, but they're pre-imposed down here on Earth. It's like the Anunnaki, right? Anunnaki are from Jupiter. That's simply just Europe, right? They're from Europe and Asia. They're Eurasian. They're Caucasians. Eurasians, Caucasians, they have several different names. But it's that same battle of Aries and Pisces. The battle of fire and ice. And the two become one. The Mogan David. The fire and the ice. And then they rule over everybody else. They rule over all the other constellations in this age. But their time's coming to an end. And they're doing anything they can. They've rewritten the story. They've perverted the symbols. They've turned this world upside down. They're trying to destroy it. They want to kill everything on it. If they can't have it, they will kill it all. Nobody will have it. Very narcissistic attitudes about it all. And pride cometh before the fall. All right, I'm ending this here. Everybody go out and commit that more than random act. Let it not be a random act of kindness. Make it a pattern so that it's not random at all. It's something you do daily.